Today on the Cat's Library, hyenas, misunderstood goth puppies, or literal demons. Take it away, Sprite. Thank you, whoever you are. Hi, this is the Cat's Library. I'll be your librarian today. After the draft video, I made sure to check the potential animals for stories first. I was also in the mood to draw something cute, and so here we are. Engage! Writing these paragraphs and different animal facts for these videos takes me back to elementary school when I was just learning how paragraphs work. It took me about a month to get them done then, too. Hyenas are nocturnal. They both hunt and scavenge dead animals, which may have contributed to the animal's negative reputation, which will be elaborated on later when I get to the mythology section. Spotted hyenas can bite through bone. They live in packs where the females are taller than the guys and run the show. Something that I learned researching for this video is that hyenas aren't in the canine family. They're in their own classification called Hyenidae. Now, there are three main subspecies of hyena, 4 carding aardwolves. The one I'm drawing is a striped hyena, which you can identify because it is lighter in color and has pointed ears, and also stripes. This subspecies is one of the smallest, though they do have a mane running along their backs, which make them look larger. They live in North Africa, the Arabian Peninsula, India, and parts of Southeast Asia. Striped hyena's Latin name is hyena, spelled with an extra A, which editing Sprite will probably put on screen for you. Now, this photograph is from the Thailand Zoo. Originally, I wanted to do a pose with more motion because I needed to practice my foreshortening, but this one is cute and the image had good contrast. A lot of the others were a tan animal with a dirt background, which is fine in nature and in photography, but when it's drawn in my shoddy excuse for realism, it probably won't work as well. I think in some other videos in this series I said that I'm good at drawing fluffy animals. Now this guy is fluffier than the draft, and yet I was still confused because apparently I haven't tried to draw something fluffy in a more realistic style. For an example of fluffy in my cartoon style, you could watch the wolf or husky video, or my character archetypes as cats video. I put extra effort into the first sketch layer, but for the second I had that thing where it wasn't as loose as the first one, and so I went straight into painting the first attempt. One of my problems throughout the process is that my hyena looks like a dog, which I tried to remedy by sticking close to the reference and alleviating the aspects of the coloring, which are like a German Shepherd. As usual, I put in the stripes last, which also contributed to this confusion. Out of all of the aspects of the drawing, I had the most trouble with the face because I wasn't used to that angle and I was having trouble making it look dimensional. This hyena is also on the lighter side, which means that the hue variation is subtle, which I also have difficulty with apparently. I am more used to easily distinguish color blocks and clear gradients. As I've also said before, these subtle color shifts are trouble to differentiate from the lighting sometimes, which is what I don't really think will be a problem until I put the lighting and shading in and it completely offsets everything that I had going on with the base colors. I used a similar technique to draw the grass and fur, but I limited the grass colors and used bigger brush strokes on the fur so that the texture was unique enough. You won't see this until much later, but I am incredibly proud of the depth of field in this image, as the things in the foreground look closer and the things farther away look farther away. This is because I blurred the things in the far background and also made them darker, while the things in the foreground are less blurred, more clear, and a lighter color. So most of these stories that I found were about spotted hyenas, which is fine. I mean, you're the one who has a problem with it and needs details like that to line up, since I drew a striped hyena. I'm chill. People don't really like hyenas, so they're usually the villains of these stories. I found a lot of general folklore stuff like I did in the dolphin video, though. General folklore stuff first, because I wanted to end on a bang and the actual stories weren't inspiring me today. A lot of the hyena legends aren't much better. Mostly they seem to be about comparing people groups that the storytellers don't like to hyenas. There are also stories about how they chop up these animals and use them as lucky charms. The least crazy that I can do is about African witches. As the legend goes, there's no such thing as a tame hyena, as they all belong to witches. The hyena's owners ride them like horses across the countryside, and they apparently milk the hyenas to make butter. I think the last part is sort of funny, but I can understand why people would find it disturbing, though. Before this story starts, some reading notes. Do your friends trust you? Do you trust your friends? Are you careful when you make new friends? Do you know anybody who wants to hurt you? The donkey heard the most beautiful singing each night, and so she searched high and low until she found out who it was, and it just so happened to be the hyena. Donkey finally got up the courage to go up to her and ask, "Hi, my name's Donkey. What's your name?" "Lion. Wait, are you from the insurance agency?" "No." "Well, you can never be too careful. I'm Hyena." "Cool. So me and some other girls were going to do some karaoke, and I wanted to know if you wanted to come." Hyena looked her up and down and popped her bubble gum. "Are you good dancing with those horns? That's not safe." "What horns?" "Oh, these are my ears, silly. See, I can move them." "So you can't stab anyone with them." "How do they taste?" "I don't know, like hair and earwax and blood or something." "Huh, is that so?" She inched forward, and before Donkey knew what was going on, Hyena bit at her ear. Donkey jumped back. "Hey, pal, what's this all about?" "You just smell so tasty!" And so the donkey screamed and ran away. Hi, so I'm slowly working on the Snow White Part 2 video. I am going to get around to more of the characters from Dragon Planet series soon as well, since those are pretty quick to make. And I'm pretty sure that the next video in this series will be an iguana. Like, subscribe, share, do all the things, and see you later, and goodbye.